September the 21st, scaly-stemmed boletes. The scaly-stemmed boletes are a small group of more somber-coloured, often soft mushrooms usually found in birch woods. All of them are edible, but only one or two are in the least worthwhile. In London, it is probably the brown birch bolete, the Sinum scaber, that is encountered most, with its hazel-coloured cap and long stem covered in dark sooty scales. The cap is often wet and sticky to the touch, and there is rarely enough flesh to merit picking. The Sinum durisculum, the slate bolete, is very similar, but far more solid, making it slightly more desirable for cooking. The culinary prize in this small group is unfortunately not very common in London. This is the impressive orange birch bolete, Sinum versipelle, which has a bright orange cap, which instantly gives it away. This is a large, sturdy species, which some find indigestible, but the Russian community in London seek out for making soup. Other species easier than most to identify are Sinum carpini and Sinum crocopodium, both of which have crack caps. In the former, the cap looks not unlike dry cracked mud, and in the latter, yellow flesh can be seen between the cracks, accounting for its English name, the saffron bolete. The mottle bolete, Sinum vericolor, is often paler than the rest. It is very like the Sinum scaber, but colours a lot more. The pores bruise rose pink, as does the flesh when it's cut, getting even redder when rubbed. Sometimes the base of the stem is a bluish-green colour. Paler specimens found in wetter areas among sphagnum moss may well be the ghost bolete, Sinum holopus, or perhaps the albino form of Sinum bruneo-gruseolum. Although birch thickets in places such as Hayes, Salmore and Wimbledon Commons are the best places to look for these boletes, one or two other Sinum rarities can be found under hazel, aspen or spruce. Another group of boletes have distinctly wet glutinous caps. These are the slippery jack, Suidus luteus, and its allies, Suidus bovinus and Suidus granulatus. Suidus species tend to have bright yellow flesh or pores, although slippery jack has a purple-brown cap, and Suidus bovinus is generally the colour of a Jersey cow. They can all be relatively easily found in Scots pine woods around London, for example Occam Heath, and are all edible once you have removed the sticky viscous covering on their caps. They are ignored by most Londoners, but enjoyed by the Chinese community, who particularly like their texture. They dry them first before rehydrating them, and then adding them to stir-fries. One other species, Suidus grevillei, prefers to grow under larch, and so is rare in London, as so little larch has been planted, although it does grow on Mickleman Down. The final group of boletes is a rag bag of odd oddities compared with the uniformity of the other groups. However, two notable species do stand out, Boletus parasiticus and Stroblemyces strobelaceus. The first of these always causes consternation when it is found, as a cluster of these tiny boletes appear to be growing on the surface of another totally different fungus, that is the earthball Scleroderma citrinum. Their relationship is a complex one, with both having association with the host tree, the same host tree. They can usually be found easily enough in Naurwood. The second is one of the strangest mushrooms on the planet, and once seen is never forgotten. The old man of the woods, Stroblemyces strobelaceus, got its name because people thought it looked like a dying mushroom. To say it just looks like a cone pushing up through the ground is not to do it justice. Its ominous-looking cap is covered in strange, soft-black scales which turn upwards, giving the appearance of a cone. When cut, its white flesh can turn an alarming orange-red before changing again to bistre. When found on a thoroughbait, it always eclipses all the other fungi found. Fortunately, it is now very rare and vulnerable enough to be included on the red data list, but this old man is still likely to inhabit some of the beechwoods in the Thames Valley.